everybody and welcome back to the internet's best reactions. Today we are discussing, reliving the Dutch Grand Prix through some of your amazing memes. I thought it was going to be quite a boring episode, to be honest with you. I thought it was going to be quite difficult to keep it entertaining because it was looking like quite a dull race at times, but then it all kind of unfolded for many different reasons. Your reactions were amazing, so this episode should be quite good. Let's get into them right now. At its Lucas 24, drivers fighting it out on the first lap. Meanwhile, turn 7. I love how this was probably the biggest talking point. Well, actually, one of the biggest talking points of the weekend. Pigeons. They just absolutely loved turn 7. I don't know, I think it was because they put grass seed down pretty much where the racetrack is. And they were having a banquet. They set out the table, the cutlery. They've got Formula 1 cars flying past probably about half a metre away. They've got front row seats. They've paid nothing. They're getting food. What a great weekend for the pigeons, apart from the ones that got completely yeeted. I saw some images of F2 cars and them stuck in. Yeah, it wasn't the greatest of pictures I've ever seen, but for the ones that survived, nice little weekend for them. At Ben Ashcroft 27, it's a Home Alone gif, of course. Kevin, once again, Kevin Magnussen on the second lap, I suppose. Just going in a bit too hot, making an unforced error and pretty much ruining his race. And quite a weekend to forget for Haas, despite Mick Schumacher's amazing P8 on the grid. Yeah, it just didn't work out for them, but K-Mag just making quite a crucial mistake so early on. It's kind of, after him picking up quite quickly this Haas car and everyone being like, oh my god, what a super sub, it's not been going so well recently. At Bent's 1780938, the 2022 Haas durability. Now, I don't know if I'm now a boomer because of this. Am I a boomer because this whole Nokia, is it a trend or something that you even understand? But of course, the durability of that Nokia right there. You could throw that into a volcano and it would still work. That's the meme. At David Hauser 02, Max and Charles exchanging fastest sectors. Now, the start of the race, of course, Leclerc, Verstappen. Leclerc didn't manage to get past Verstappen at turn 1, although he got a slightly better start, and I did get excited, don't get me wrong. And then it was quite close at the start, despite the fact Verstappen had slightly fresher soft tyres. That Ferrari switched on that red walled tyre pretty quickly and was looking quite feisty, but lo and behold, as the tyre wear sets in, Leclerc fell off, and that was pretty much the end of that. I am just happy, and I can't believe I'm saying this as a Ferrari fan from the start of the season, just to see Leclerc on the podium. It's quite a lovely thing to see. We hadn't seen it since Austria. How far we have fallen, Ferrari fans. Now, as I said at the start, it was looking like a relatively mediocre race. At JoeGamer6p, me waiting for something to happen. And, well, we waited a while, and then it kicked off. At Tico Ikeko, just Leclerc radio. It does. Does it scar me anymore? No, not as much. Not as much because, remember when we actually thought potentially, us Ferrari fans, that Leclerc would have a chance at the title, and now he's over 100 points behind. That was when it, back at the start of the season, I'd get quite a bit anxious about it all. Now, it's like, well, how much more can Ferrari hurt me? Not a lot, although Sainz had the bad luck this weekend. Speaking of Ferrari bad luck, at S. Bruno Marx, Ferrari in a nutshell. It's every single race weekend, something, not even minorly, drastically goes wrong. And this week, it's Ferrari without a tyre. Just did not have 4 tyres ready for Sainz. In fact, 2 of the engineers on the car, whoever you want to call the pit crew, they were looking around. Where's the tyre, mate? They had no idea. The guy's gone for a toilet break and Sainz has come in for some fresh tyres. At this point, you just have to laugh because it did ruin Sainz's race. Of course, we did have safety cars later on, which allowed him to come back into it, but you just have a list. If you had a list of all the possible ways Ferrari can screw up a race, it would never be long enough.
Who has won Tweet of the Week?
Right, Tweet of the Week time now, and no surprises, a Ferrari meme has won an amazing Fanatec prize. At CMCG_F1, the car Ferrari were expecting in the pits. What a great little Photoshop that is. I mean, obviously it was one of the rear tyres, wasn't it, that was missing, so slightly factually inaccurate, but overall, brilliant, and just, oh, pain. But not a lot of pain. Like, when you've had so much pain, pain becomes less painful. You see what I mean? But well done, CMCG. You've won an amazing Fanatec prize. I'll be in your DMs and we can sort out the shipping. At Alien Emil, POV, you're Sergio Perez exiting the pits. Yeah, so not only this, not only the chaos of not having a tyre available, the Ferrari wheel gun is just in the middle of the pit lane. What are they doing? I mean, I haven't seen if there's been any penalty as of recording right now, but maybe this is a hypothetical scenario where Ferrari still believe that Verstappen threw the tear-off visor thing at Spa into Leclerc's front right, even though it wasn't. I think it was Stroll, but they still believe it's Verstappen, and they've gone, well, no, we're going to leave a wheel gun in front of the Red Bull pit box. Just a hypothetical scenario. Just saying. They're both basically banana skins in their own right. At Apu3385, I mean, they just carry on, don't they? I don't want this to be Ferrari's internet's best reactions every single week, but they just don't do themselves any favours, do they? Look, it's for a lot, depends on the context. Dollars? No. Tires on the car? Yes. Oh dear, there were some very good memes about Ferrari, so well done. Like, without you lot, this series wouldn't function, so thank you. Amazing, Apu. At Laubf, that pit stop by Ferrari. They just keep coming, don't they? They just keep coming. It's the Uno one this time, but with a lovely Ferrari badge right there. I wonder how many times that meme has been made over the course of this season. I am going to estimate definitely into the triple figures. Anyway, let's move away from Ferrari just for a second, shall we? And let's focus on what was going on in the race. At the Ole 55, Mercedes going for the one-stopper. Now, this was a big moment, of course. Mercedes stretched out the medium tyres. They just wanted that track position. And I think George Russell said after the race that if they hadn't lost so much race time through bad qualifying position and getting stuck in a few battles, then maybe they could have fought for the victory. And to be fair, it looked like they could have at least fought Verstappen on track, but obviously with things changing, and 1 minute they looked completely out of it, and then another Bottas stoppage allowed for them to come kind of back in. But yeah, Mercedes were great. Like, from a speed perspective, they looked really quick. Strategy, yeah, well, you know, we can discuss that. At Bad News Giant TV, Vettel watching Perez and Hamilton behind him. Now, of course, you had Hamilton passing Perez, and then Vettel coming out the pits, completely none the wiser that anyone's behind him. He toodles out. He's got his cold tyres. He's having a great time in 15th or whatever he is. And you've got Hamilton and Perez battling like no tomorrow. I'm going to blame Aston Martin for that one. I genuinely think that they hadn't let Vettel know or whatever. I just don't think a four-time F1 world champion would have acted in that manner had he known that two cars ahead of him were coming up behind him. At Thomas Sainty, track conditions this weekend. Offline, it was dusty. And I don't think this was because of flares or any residue from them. Well, I mean, flares, don't even get me started on that sort of stuff. The people in qualifying that threw flares onto the track, you need to be banned from Formula One forever. The fact that you even thought it was distinctly acceptable is beyond me. Thankfully, though, I heard reports that the people in the grandstand that saw the person that did it basically piled on them, poured beer over them, basically dobbed them in, which I absolutely love hearing. So well done on dobbing those people in, because it's so dangerous. Like, flares are obviously dangerous enough as it is if you have enough of them in the grandstands. Throwing one on the track, are you dumb? Anyway, sorry, I got distracted. Good meme, Thomas Sainty. Yes, the track conditions were dusty. At OW_Espinotto, conspiracy theorists, here they come. Yes, let's talk about the whole Tsunoda thing. So Tsunoda comes into the pits, puts hard tyres on, goes out, suspects that his front left isn't put on properly, stops the car, undoes his seatbelt. Team tell him, no, the tyre is on, Yuki, carry on. He then puts his seatbelt back on, but loosely, crawls back to the pits, comes in, changes his tyres again to sort of use soft tyres. They then fiddle around with the seatbelts, then send him out again, then he stops out on track. I don't believe in this as a conspiracy theory because there's no reason for Red Bull to get on the blower and be like, yeah, we're only 98 points ahead of Leclerc in the championship. I think we need to rig this. It's just not, why would they do that? If there's an even slimmest amount of evidence, there's no, like, they'd be kicked out of the championship. There's literally no reason to do that. But still, it was proper sus. I have no idea what AlphaTauri and Yuki were doing. Thankfully, we then got another safety car to make the end of the race kind of interesting, but that whole debacle was just very odd. At Taikangas 30, the race director waited to press the safety car button. Now, this was when Bottas stopped at turn 1, pretty much just before on the inside. The car has stopped for quite some time, and it's only yellow flags. What is going on? Sainz even passed Ocon in that whole yellow flag, not yellow flag, got confused but still passed him, and Bottas is literally just in front of him. Where is the VSC? I thought that's the literal point of a VSC is, car stopped out on track, whack out a VSC, assess the situation. Instead it's like yellow flags. No, I think that they were very slow with putting out the safety car. So with all of this, it caused chaos in the pits, and George Russell was like, no, Mercedes, I do not want to stay on these mediums. I will absolutely allow Max Verstappen a clean shot at Lewis Hamilton on degraded medium tyres. I mean, I can understand why George wanted to change tyres. It was kind of a free pit stop, although he gave position to Max, and that was the whole point. That, for me, they either needed to both commit with the medium tyres and stay out and just try and win the race, or they both pit for softs. George kind of screwed Lewis's race a little bit, but then I guess Merck probably should have just gone no, stay out. But they made an on-the-fly strategy call. You can't pause it. This is live. And yeah, it properly screwed Lewis. I can imagine what the debrief is going to be like. Anyway, sorry, memes. At Pete9710, oh, what a great chance for Lewis to win this race. And it's gone. I was very surprised to not see Lewis crawl up to the safety car line and then go, because that Merc is not very quick in a straight line. We saw they struggled to pass the Red Bull even with DRS. I'm surprised that they didn't just crawl up and then just bolt it down towards turn 1 and maybe could have stayed ahead for one more lap, I suppose. But yeah, Max was unstoppable. Oh, there's another meme actually about the Sonoda thing. At Killerine64, he stopped the car, continued going, pitted, exited the pits and retired on track, causing a VSC. Me trying to figure out what the hell was wrong with Yuki's car. Yeah, I don't actually fully know what was wrong with Yuki's car just yet. The information hasn't been released to me as of recording. You may well know by the time this episode goes out. At Mythical Rhino, Lewis Hamilton after the restart, he was popping off on the team radio. You don't usually hear Hamilton pop off that much at his team, but he was not happy. He saw a chance to get at least on the podium, and he'd cooled down by the end of the race and was calm and composed and was like, yeah, good points, but yeah, he's gonna be angry with the strategy team. Speaking of the strategy team, at Fritz Geheaven, it's actually a meme not about the Ferrari strategy team. Apparently a driver tyre call can work. George Russell, Mercedes strategy team. For once, Ferrari are not the meme in this particular part of Internet's Best Reactions. Pat yourselves on the back. At Raging_Redneck1, Lewis Verstappen is on fresh, soft tyres. Yeah, I know, Hamilton fans, we don't talk about last year, so I won't go into it, because I think you all know what this meme means. Probably quite painful for Lewis. At BAME_Sicaria, Leclerc to Hamilton about strategy. Yep, first time. I don't even want to go into how many times it's been for Leclerc this year. At Iseopa1, Lewis Hamilton post-race after Mercedes screwed him over. Oh, the good times of him and Bottas. Bottas used to just get out the way. Get on hard tyres, Valtteri. I mean, it's not even the fastest race strategy, but just get on those, all right? Just whatever.
It's time for Social Media Team Championship.
Social Media Team Championship time now. Let's see who has scored points for the Dutch Grand Prix. In third place we have Haas F1, but you get a bonus 150 points that session, of course, when Gasly absolutely wiped out the braking marker in free practice. And so Haas, well done, you get a point, and it's not even from Saturday or Sunday, so I'm proud of you. In second place we have Alpine F1, Fernando. Ha! Very orange. Yep, same as last year. Put your fog lights on. I love how... I don't have as much of a problem with them doing it right at the end. Obviously, the race is over, and no surprise, everyone just hid their flares until the end of the race, and then was like, oh, well, you can kick me out now. It doesn't matter. And fair enough, like, it's vibes for then, isn't it? Just during the race, it's a bit sketchy. And finally, the winners of the Social Media Team Championship for the Dutch Grand Prix are Mercedes-AMG F1. Just a different meme about Hamilton setting fastest laps, so I enjoyed it. Well done, Merc. You get maximum points. That's 1 point for Haas, 2 points for Alpine, and 3 points for Mercedes.
And now it's time for Race Rundown with your host, Matthew Gallagher.
Right, race rundown time now. Let's see if I can read them all off. God, we got 18 finishers. That's not good. The finishers of the Dutch Grand Prix were Verstappen, Russell, Leclerc, Hamilton, Perez, Alonso, Norris, Sainz. Verstappen, Russell, Leclerc, Hamilton, Perez, Alonso, I'm so terrible at race rundown now. Maybe it's because I'm getting old. Verstappen, Russell, Leclerc, Hamilton, Perez, Alonso, Norris, Sainz. Oh, come on. Verstappen, Russell, Leclerc, Hamilton, Perez, Alonso, Norris, Sainz, Ocon, Stroll, Gasly, Albon, Schumacher, Vettel, Magnussen, Zhou, Ricciardo, Latifi. Yes! And the non-finishers were Bottas and Oda. Right, that is it. Thank you so much for watching the internet's best reaction to the Dutch Grand Prix. Thank you, as always, for your amazing submissions. I think there were some brilliant memes at this time out. And we're back again next weekend for Monza. Oh, God, Ferrari's home race. That's going to be fun. I will be wearing Ferrari merch, and I will be channeling every bit of good luck possible. Please, Ferrari, give me one good weekend at your home race. I beg, but I can just see Verstappen winning at Monza, can't you? Hashtag WTF1 if you want to get involved next time and potentially win an amazing Fanatec prize if you win Tweet of the Week. And that's it. Make sure to follow us on Twitch, WTF1 Official, if you don't already. We do all these live watch-alongs if you didn't know. And that's it. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye!